The Christmas season is always a time for reflection. I've been thinking about what it means to be responsible not just for my own life, but for the lives of those who fly with me. We all have families back home. And when we lose a pilot, we're responsible for suffering we'll never see. Just a thought. We'll probably forget about that before my shift on balloon protection at Ypres. After an hour of keeping tabs on our observer, the four of us had yet to sight anything more dangerous than a crow. We wanted to head for home, but our orders were to stand by in case of a raid. Christmas may come and go unnoticed this year. Farrah has been notified that the 56th is needed at a place called Remastered. Can't think of anything less fun than a base move in winter, but then they don't pay us to have fun. We have but one last patrol to Ypres before packing our bags for the next scarred salient. Guess we can sing Christmas carols whilst travelling to our new hovel in typical army conditions. Hoping we'd all leave Amiens together, the four of us were delighted to find only 2 fighters in the clouds below. Not having to face a DR-1 this close to Christmas was itself a gift I'd never forget. To the men of the 56th, Amiens was home. Don't mean to sound sentimental, but the last we saw of the place, Gothas were bombing it to shreds. The very moment we broke camp, the locusts descended, as if the Huns knew we were moving and didn't want our planes at Rheims. We now fear there's a rat among us. Our first mission from our new base is to bomb the town of Mézières. If I find out who is responsible for the leak, I'm going to bomb him too. I'd hoped our new locale would convince me the war was drawing to a close. Wishful thinking. The terrain was equally bloodstained and the town of Mézières was about to be another heap of ruins. Directly across the line from us is the Rethel aerodrome. If our bombing this morning is successful, it won't be there much longer. Thanks to our new quarters, we now have a decent cook. Since this base used to be occupied by the Allied High Command, it was fitted to the nines. When command moved out, Chef Otis Stratton got shuffled in the paperwork. Now he's ours. Bombing planes in their hangars was a shortcut to curbing Hun air strength. We wouldn't win any medals for it, but we'd probably be saving more of each other's lives than we could ever imagine. After assigning 4 of us to patrol the resilient Rethel sector, Farrah told us outright that if he catches a traitor in our midst, he'll personally slit the swine's throat. No trials, no military protocol, just straight execution. No one has any illusions that the colonel might be exaggerating. To him, feeding information to the Huns isn't just a crime, it's a mortal sin. Facing 5 D2s and 5 DR1s, I understood why we had been called to Rheims. This was our new front, a place where Fritz would gamble, perhaps our last chance to make a difference in the course of history. With Italy's retreat at Caporetto and U-boats still routing the British Navy, General Ludendorff seems to have everything going his way. The new Russian government is negotiating a peace treaty with Germany, freeing swarms of Hun infantry to converge on France. Ludendorff is planning a huge offensive, and we've got to be ready for it. Maybe a little train strafing at Luxembourg will show him we mean business. Attacking another occupied country left my stomach in knots. But as I reached for my trigger, I knew in my heart I was doing the right thing. A Hun train on someone else's land was still a Hun train. While Ludendorff is doing nothing to conceal his intentions, we're anxiously awaiting news of our own next initiative. Sometimes I think the bureaucrats at HQ do nothing but smoke cigars, throw darts at their war maps and shoot down each other's plans. No wonder this war is taking forever. No luck yet flushing out our enemy within. Balloon busting at Verdun commences at dawn. They better not know we're coming. 3 balloons awaited our arrival, with 2 pairs of fighters primed at their side to attack us. My partner and I were going to have a little pre-game contest before we played Pop Goes the Weasel. There's little doubt that Ludendorff thinks he can put us to the sword with his offensive. America has 1 million men on the way to Europe, and he wants to end the war before they arrive. Germany has officially rejected Wilson's 14 points, so we'll just have to fight to the end. Fine with me. 4 of us are patrolling the Argonne forest at noon to see what we're up against. Though the air was thin as we reached our ceiling, the atmosphere was still thick with the noise of enemy engines. The 4 attacking Fokkers forced us to fly faster than we had ever flown before. In spite of all our troubles, we've been eating like kings. Otis Stratton should be nominated for the Legion d'Honneur. Last night we dined on fresh mountain trout, and the previous day we feasted on succulent wild fowl. If this keeps up, we'll be too fat to fly. Fun and games on the bombing front today. We've targeted a gasoline factory at Bitburg to further impair Ludendorff's designs. This was my first chance to bomb the northern Vaterland, and I wasn't going to blow it. I'd need to get away quickly, but I wanted to see the flames. Nothing burns as brightly as petrol. While we know exactly what the Germans are plotting, we still have no idea what our own leadership has in the works. Two of us have direct orders from HQ to escort a bomber to Marche. If you ask me, the town would sizzle a lot faster if we just bombed it ourselves. Farrah thinks the exercise is some kind of ruse. I'm sure we'll find out what's going on soon enough. We always do. My pal and I hoped for an easy outing. We almost got one. It wasn't until we reached Marche that 6 opponents told us in no uncertain terms that our bomber wasn't coming through without a fight. No one can sleep. Ream is now being bombed regularly by Gothas. Every night, all night, without pity. Wherever we hide our planes, they find them. If there's a spy among us, we need to expose him while we've still got a base. No weapon is as lethal as the enemy within. 3 of us are assigned to patrol the Mews after lunch. Otis is serving lamb stew. Don't know why, but for some reason this doesn't appeal to Holy Joe. The aroma of basil and tarragon followed me into the air, as the boys and I spotted a hodgepodge of Fockers below us. Smelling them burn on their way down would make for an equally piquant dessert.